Hello traders and welcome in a new daily market analysis video. Today is the 23rd of May and this video is brought to you by the market research team at PO Prime. Basically, it's the beginning of a new trading week, which is starting with a risk of sentiment. We had some reports yesterday that a colonel in the Iran Revolutionary Guards has been assassinated. Basically, this is affecting the markets and we're having a bit of a risk of sentiment. We want to wait and see whether we will have any sort of escalation from Iran or the whole geopolitical risks will be de-escalated during the day. So let's have a quick look on the markets and what do we have on our economic agenda. This will be discussed in today's video. Please stay tuned. Starting with the economic agenda for today, we can see that basically we expect the US session to be having a lighter volatility than usual because we're having the Canada Victoria Day. So the markets in Canada are closed. We won't expect higher volatility by the beginning of the week. We also had some news from the German economy, which is regarding the IFO Business Climate Index for the month of May. And basically it is higher than both the previous reading as well as the forecasts for this month. The reading is around 93 points, which is higher than the forecast, 91.4. Going forward, we have nothing to look for on the economic agenda except for a speech expected from Andrew Bailey, who is the Bank of England governor, expected to deliver a speech during the day. Other than that, basically, we don't have anything to look for on the economic agenda. However, we will keep a very close eye to the news from Tehran about any sort of escalation or de-escalation process for the geopolitical risks that we had yesterday. So let's have a look on the technical analysis and the charts. During the end of the last week, basically we mentioned on the dollar index that we are having some very good demand zone just around the areas of 102.50, and we're basically just still trading around those areas at the moment. The dollar index is still able to create new lower lows as well as lower highs. However, the momentum is basically not on side. The momentum is showing a bullish divergence to the upside. So basically the dollar index is to be on our watch list for today. The technical bias is basically neutral and we will be waiting for a break above this downward sloping trend line, which basically is a sort of a falling wedge. So basically this wedge is expected to break out to the upside, supported by the momentum. However, we will not be having any longs entered unless we have this upward breakout of the downward sloping trend line on the dollar index. So currently the levels of 102.50 is a potential level of reversal. However, we will need a confirmation first. Going forward and having a look on the euro versus the pound, we mentioned during the last week that we do expect a decline from the levels of 0.8480. We had this brilliant move to the downside and basically we reached our first target of 0.8433. The entry or the short signal was around those levels, so we had a very smooth 30 pips to the downside. However, our target ended up as being a support and we had this brilliant upward move. Again, we're gonna test the levels of 0.8480 one more time. However, again, we do expect a decline from those levels. So this is basically some sort of a rounding top being created at the moment on the euro versus the pound. From those levels, we will be waiting for some bearish price action to again add to our short positions on our euro versus the pound. Going forward and having a look on the gold trading, basically we do extend the move to the upside, supported by the risk of sentiment in the markets. However, current levels of 1860 are basically very potential levels of reversal to the downside. We also have the upward sloping or the upward channel, the upper limit of the price channel on the 30 minutes time frame just around 1865. So we do expect we might see a false break to the upside just to hit the upper limit of the price channel. However, we do expect to turn around and decline during the day. So we are basically bearish on the gold trading during the day. However, We just need a confirmation price action. And ending our video with the US crude oil, we are still basically bearish. We are still having our same technical bias. And yes, we expected this downward move to happen from the 15.05 dollars per barrel, and we are still having our target set around 102.60. Any upward move on the US crude oil is something to be shorted on the short and the medium term. That was all for today's daily market analysis video. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for another videos. Please stay safe.